Hi Ben, very, very nice to meet you virtually. How are you doing up there?
It's all right. It's being able to practice alone, but missing the community aspect of singing with other people.
Yeah, we have another wonderful musician here, James Baillieu. I think you have worked with him before, so I think the two of you know each other. Is it true?
Yes, we met last year at Samling Academy, and I'm very much looking forward to working in this new format today.
When I was a bachelor, I lived all alone and worked at the weaver's trade. And the only thing that I ever did wrong was to woo a fair young maid. I wooed her in the winter time and in the summer too. And the only thing I did that was wrong was to keep her from the foggy, foggy dew.
Wonderful singing. Really, I enjoy very much your song and how you prepared it and how well you prepared and your honesty and your personality. There's something very sincere and natural in it, and that's something I really, really like very much, because very often when singers become professional, they lose all of that, and that's really something you should really keep and strengthen. There are a few things I would like to point out or give some ideas to you, and maybe we can talk about them. I think generally the song is very cheeky, and that's maybe an element I miss a bit. You give us a wonderful innocent performance, and I think also there could be a little more, twink in your eye, or a little special thing. That's something, obviously it's very hard in front of a camera and no audience and no pianist around. That's something I think we all have to learn in these times, to be able to perform without audience, but towards a device, a mobile phone or a tablet or something. It's very hard, but that's maybe also a good lesson for all of us to really embrace that. And maybe that's something I think we could do.
Yeah, so my thoughts are along the same lines. I think it's maybe a question to start is if I said this song is about, how would you complete that sentence?
I think it's about looking back and not. I think looking back, but I don't know whether it's about regret or not, or whether it's about living a life free of regret.
And big question, but what is the Foggy Foggy Dew?
The world at large, probably. Kind of a creeping sense of losing the person's innocence.
Yeah, and I guess it's a very open-ended topic. I mean, a very open-ended sentence, and that's why he uses it, so it can be different things to different people. So I think that a little game to try and play with this is what I like to call art song charades, and this is just to try and now, within that general intention that we've been discussing, like the fact that the first verse is about a bachelor, and that let's to try and get the specific images of the words, like bachelor, and to color the consonants of these words live in the room. So can we try just now, just planning, we can speak through it first and then we can try it singing, giving me a almost like a sign language interpreter, a gesture for every word. Can we try that when you sing? I'll just give you the notes.
When I was a bachelor, I lived all alone and worked at the weaver's trade. And the only thing I did that was wrong was to woo a fair young maid. I wooed her in the winter time and in the summer too. And the only thing I did that was wrong was to keep her from the foggy, foggy dew. That's really difficult.
No, really well done. And you see, sometimes it's easier for you and you remember the things, and sometimes it's harder. And I think that's also a sign very often that, particularly in these moments, you're not clear in your mind, also with the pictures. But when it works out, I also have the feeling that actually your voice is way more active. It's not just the movement of hands and body, but it's actually also that your voice resonates better and spins better.
Yeah.
Working and supporting physically emotions and texts and music is very, very helpful.
And what I really liked about that was that I could feel like it was your version of the story.
But that's very, very good work. And the first step, when then after a while of doing it this way, you internalize things and actually it stays in your imagination, in your brain, without doing actually the action of your body. So that would be then the next step. Another little short thing I would like to look at you, as I mentioned before, is in the second verse, she sighed, she cried, she damn near died. Because that's a very hard one and it goes into the similar direction as James was working with you. We have 3 verbs and they're very different on one hand. And that's also something where our brain and our emotion and our color in the voice has to change very quickly. So that's quite challenging. So maybe we could do this little bit. Maybe you have a few seconds, you think exactly about the 3 verbs, sighing, crying, and almost dying. So maybe if James can give us a few notes and you just sing, and then we see how things are going.
She sighed, she cried, she damn near died.
Very good. Now let's try to exaggerate, and that's what we have to do sometimes on stage. We think we become completely ridiculous in our thoughts and how intense we think, and actually people just get a little glimpse of it. So maybe just really don't be shy now and just try being over the top as much as possible.
She sighed, she cried, she damn near died.
Very good. That's the right way.
I found that very convincing. So it's again just marrying the musical details to the specifics and being as, like Ben said, being as brave and as exaggerated as you can to get the story over the airwaves to me here in London.
That's something I also find interesting to work with young singers, is about the energy. Because I find interesting, paradoxically, the young people, when they're in this period of life, they have a lot of energy, they're very active, they can go out for nights and only need 2 hours of sleep and can, well, maybe that's nothing for Zoom, but drink a lot, and they can wake up the morning without really being in too much pain. But on the other hand, when they sing, there's always or very often a lack of energy, which thrives the singing and the performance. And that's maybe also something you could actually think, or it's like really a huge Mercedes or really a very, very big, powerful car with a lot of horsepower. When you sing, it needs this kind of, and I'm talking not about pressure or about negative tension or whatever, it's just that we need, when we perform, this very, very high energy.
Even with restrained energy, the energy's still palpable.
Because it's also very, very interesting and attractive for people to watch in the audience when there's someone on stage who burns. And we always think when a song is sad or slow or piano that there is not so much energy, but actually exactly in these moments I just mentioned, the energy level has to be even higher to really transport on Zoom or in a concert hall, to really reach out. But that's something we will have next time.
So just in summary, the game we played about the charades is to just try and energize the consonants in their specific form, and then just quickly to think about an overarching energy for each verse.
Oh, I am a bachelor and I live with my son, and we work at the weaver's trade. And every single time that I look into his eyes, he reminds me of that fair young maid. He reminds me of the winter time, and of the summer too, and of the many, many times I held her in my arms, just to keep her from the foggy, foggy dew.
It's wonderful to see, because I have the feeling you're someone who is very open-minded, and it's wonderful because when you work with young people, very often it's hard to find a common language, and particularly also via Zoom, when you're so far away and you can't really sense how the other person is reacting to what you suggest to her or him. And that's something wonderful also from your side, that you are someone who seems to be very open and adventurous. So I hope one day I will be able to experience your life and really work with you live.
Thank you. Me too.